I'm going to be getting started on my 8x10 hardboard canvas and my image already transferred out. And if you'd like the traceable image, it is available down in the description box, and also a short video on how to transfer images to your canvas using wax transfer paper. On my palette to start off, I'm going to have some permanent black, phthalo blue, ultramarine blue. This is Dioxyzene Purple. If you don't have that, you can just use regular violet or mix blue and red. This is raw umber, Cad Orange, yellow medium, and titanium white. So I'm going to start with the background. I'm going to have my number 18 angle brush here. It covers ground and also helps to fill things in very precisely. So I'm going to take just titanium white, and I'm just going to get just a dot of the Cad Orange. Just a little bit, not much at all. And then I want to dull that with just a little bit of raw umber. Okay, maybe a little bit more orange. And then let's warm it up with some yellow medium. So I'm looking for a light, dull, kind of peachy color here. Okay, very, very light. And I'll just block in around the window seal and just pretty much around everything with this. Okay, so now without cleaning, I'm just going to take some permanent black straight up. And with this, I just want to start to fill in the window seal. So just kind of something like that. I can use the edge of the angle brush very precisely. And this is going to be a blurred out background, so I'm not worried about the effects just yet. I just want to get color in its general location for now and just fill everything in. Okay, again, no cleaning. Let's get some more permanent black. And to that, I'd like to mix a little bit of raw umber to that. Okay, so again, a general base color. And right over here, just going to fill this area in. Alrighty, again, no cleaning necessary. I'm just going to take titanium white now. And I want to go back into that brown and black mixture. Okay, kind of something like this. And I want to start filling in the table creases here. And also some window pane areas as well. Okay, I'm going to go to my number 4 natural flat bristle brush. These natural bristles are now what's going to help to create the out of focus effect using fuzzy lines. And so I'm going to go back into that light peach color again. Just a little bit of paint, and as you'll see, I'm just going to lightly dust it over some of this window stuff that I did. And in the bokeh world, some of this stuff will disappear a little bit into it, some of it will show, and it really just fades it off and gives more of that out of focus effect. Okay, something like that. And again, no cleaning. I'm just going to take some permanent black. And right here, let's fill in a few more things. Just kind of making that show up a little bit. Now, as you'll see, I'm going to brush this down on top of this. And as I do that, those natural bristles really give those fuzzy lines. And as you can see, this is what creates that out of focus effect. And this out of focus is really going to contrast with the details of the glass and really make this pop just that much more. And with paint left on the brush, you can see just kind of dragging this out. And again, the key for this effect is dry natural bristles. Don't have any water at all, as that will render you kind of a jagged line instead of a fuzzy line. Okay, so kind of like this, it gives those fuzzy edges. And as you can see, we're going to start to get the effect of the bokeh now. Okay, again, now with a clean brush, same number 4 natural flat bristle brush, I'm going to get orange and some yellow and white back into that light peachy color. Okay, let's dull that a little bit now with some raw umber. Okay, a very light, dull orange color and just a little bit of paint on the brush. I'm just going to kind of scratch this around And I don't know, maybe it's kind of like some brush outside the window, maybe some rose bushes or something, and the light's hitting it in the morning or something. Whatever you want it to be, make up your own story. Okay, just kind of something like that, just randomly dancing around, letting those bristles just give those fuzzy edges and kind of that blended look, kind of something like this. Okay, something like that, nothing too fancy. And now I'm just going to pick up more white without cleaning. I'm just going to dance this back in and sort of knock some of this back. And that's a really cool thing with acrylics. You can always cover something up if it's too much or not enough of something. Okay, kind of something like that. And now without cleaning, I'm going to take now some more permanent black. Okay, very little paint on the brush. You can see I'm tapping a lot of it off. And with that, I just want to do a few more window things, kind of like so. Now up here, as you'll see, I'm going to make some angled stuff here. I want it going down, and then down here, I want it pointed up. And this gives kind of this vanishing point perspective and brings in more of a realistic look. So as I bring this up from the bottom, I want to get more horizontal as I bring it up. And then I want to leave the horizontal look and get more angled up as I get past that midpoint. And again, it just gives that realistic look and just that perspective to it. Okay, now with a clean brush, I'm going to go back into that light orange color, or that light peachy color that I started with, and let's put just a little bit of paint on the brush and just kind of scratch some of this in. As you'll see, this ramps up the out of focus effect this way. Okay, going back into that light dull orange color that I made from earlier, very, very little paint on the brush. You can see me tapping most of it off. And again, I want to get this bokeh effect on the right side of this thing here. So right where the black meets that, I would just want to go on top of it and scratch it down, and you'll see a very nice fuzzy line and giving that out of focus effect this way. Okay, and so now without cleaning, I'm going to take some phthalo blue now, a little bit of black into that. So that brings it to a Payne's gray with a blue hue, some white to bring that up, a very light dulled blue color here, and very little paint again. I just want to add just some of this color in a couple spots, just like so. Okay, something like that, and again, no cleaning necessary. I'm just going to take permanent black again. And as you'll see, I want to darken some of these, but I don't want to take them all the way to the outside because I don't want hard edges. So as you'll see in the very center, and just leaving those fuzzy lines on the outside, and this just really brings it in more and gives it more of a stronger effect this way. Okay, back to my angle brush again. I'm going to start blocking in the table with this, and so for that I'm just going to take some raw umber and a good scoop of white, just kind of this mid kind of dull brown color, something kind of like so, and I'll just block in our table with this. Okay, no cleaning again, and with that same brush, I'm going to take some now more raw umber. Let's get a little yellow to warm that. Something about this value here, and I want to go back on the table and do some other values, so I'm just going to brush in just a little bit like so. Okay, just building up some layers, and also let's build up some wood grain texture and detail, so I'm just going to start laying some lines in. I know this doesn't look neat at first, but again, acrylics doesn't look neat right out of the box. It takes some layers and pushing colors back and forth. And for now, just getting things generally where they go. Okay, a little bit more brown. And let's do some more up here. Okay, again, no cleaning necessary. I'm going to get some more white into that mixture. Okay, for a lighter value, and let's play this in. Okay, now going to my script liner brush here. I'm going to use this for some wood grain details, and the key to a script liner is lots of water. And so when I pull it through, I want to turn it, and that brings it to a nice sharp point. And with that point, I want to use that to go ahead and start doing these wood grain details. And I want the foreground of the table to be in focus and more of the back of the table to be out of focus. So I'm going to apply this just kind of like this. Again, if there's something I don't like, I can just take that other brown value and knock those back, cover them up to any degree. So really just go for it and just kind of hash these in kind of like this. Okay, now I have my number 6 smaller angle brush here. This tip and edge is going to help me to get in between some of those grain details with some other values. So going back to white and some of that brown mixture, get for a light value, and I just want to, with the edge, go in between some of these grains and just kind of show some highlight and just build up more of the table this way. And as you'll see back here, I'm going to brush it because, again, that blends it together and takes the detail out and gives it more of that out of focus effect. And as you'll see right here, very little paint left on the brush, and I just want to, again, blend this out into that dark value, and it gives that fuzzy edge and gives that out of focus effect. Let's do the same with the edge on this side as well. Okay, something like that. And now with that same angle brush, I'm going to take some permanent black and raw umber together. And also with the edge of this smaller angle brush, I can also do fine detailed wood grains that are in focus here in the foreground. So if you don't like the angle brush, this is definitely another option for you. Okay, with paint left on the brush, I'm just going to sort of play it around like so. This is maybe a knot in the table here in the wood. And so anything you want to do, make this however you want. Again, just background. It's really about the bottle that pops off of it. But anything goes. Cover something if you don't like it, and it's all good. Okay, again, no cleaning. Let's take some titanium white, go back into that brown mixture again for some lighter value. And let's put in some highlights. And again, as you can see, just building up the layers, pushing the colors around, adding more layers on top of other ones. And as long as I keep the angle brush and those crisp edges in the foreground, no matter how many times I play colors in, they'll always look in focus as long as I do it that way versus blending it out and brushing it out like I did in the back of the table, which of course, as you saw, creates that out of focus effect. Okay, something like that. Play these colors around until you like your table. Okay, back to my same angle brush. I'm going to use that to get the bottle details here and get everything crisp lined and all of the things. So I'm going to get black and blue together now for a dark value. And with the very edge and the tip of this brush, very precise to get in these small areas. I highly recommend a small angle brush, or you can use a really good flat brush that has a very decent edge on it. Okay, so it's all about the edge and the tip here that gets these precise locations and those crisp edges. And with this, I can get very fine details and get into small areas just like this. And so with this value, just going to block in the general places where this dark value goes. So as you can see right here, I'm going to leave a teeny little gap. I don't want to lose the edge of my bottle into that dark background here. I will bring it up to the edge eventually, but for now, just going to leave that open until I get things placed where they go. Okay, and right down here, I'm going to bring this line over, and it's going to stop about in line with this window pane right here. And this is going to be a shape that I want to create for a direct highlight that's going to be bouncing off the bottom here. Okay, so down here, I'm going to make these like jagged lines because, of course, when you look through a bottle, the reflections get distorted, and the edge of the table that you see through the reflection is going to have this distortion. So any way that you want to do this, just kind of hash those down a little bit, cover something if it's too much, and it's all good. So as you'll notice, the two dark values here, I've got black and blue versus the black and raw umber, and you can see the difference here as the bottle does have that blue hue, and so I wanted to make that involved with that dark value. And as you'll notice, as I fill in the reflections through the table here that I'm going to lay in here for now, again, I'm just kind of making these jagged lines. Just kind of something like that, and let's put some other table wood grains and stuff. Okay, just kind of dancing this around, however, making these little shapes. And again, if there's something that's not right, I can just take a value and cover it up. Okay, no cleaning again. I'm just going to take titanium white to lighten this value now. Okay, kind of something like that. Again, it's like this Payne's gray. And I want to go a little bit more white than that. That's a little bit too dark. Okay, I can always change it. See, add more white or less white, and I can really play these values in and change them without cleaning. Okay, something kind of like this, and I'll just block in with this. Okay, and again, no cleaning. I'm just going to go into the permanent black and blue mixture here. Okay, and again, my number 6 small angle brush there, and with the very edge, let's fill in this dark value down the side here. Okay, and also on the other side, I'm going to go ahead and bring that dark value all the way up. Okay, just kind of something like that, just following the curvature of the glass. And then also up here, there's a little corner piece here. I just want to fill this in as well. Okay, no cleaning again. Let's get a little bit more blue, maybe a little bit of black. Actually, I want just a little bit more blue than black this time. A little bit of titanium white. Okay, for a very dark, but like I said, I want the blue to show up a little bit more. Okay, maybe a little bit more black in there, and I just want to extend this line just a little bit. Okay, now I have my number 2 nylon flat brush. I'm going to go in here with some details and other things. So I'm going to go again black and blue, and let's get titanium white. Okay, a little bit darker, something like this, and I want to start to create these little arches. This is again going to show the window pane reflections, and they're going to bend and curve, of course, because they are distorted through the reflection of the glass. And this is really going to start to bring out the transparency of looking through blue glass. So this is going to not only see through the glass, but there's going to be a lot of highlights that are going to be bouncing off of it as well. So all of those coming together is really going to make this thing magnificent. And so now no cleaning, more titanium white. Okay, and I want to get some highlights that are striking to show the windows that are highlighting off of this. Okay, just kind of filling this in like so. Okay, with that same light value, I want to dance this here and there. So kind of in this area here. And again, if it's too light everywhere, I can always take a darker value and knock it back. It's all good. Okay, no cleaning again. Let's get some more titanium white now. Let's brighten some things up. And let's fill in this reflection down here with this. Okay, a little bit lighter value as you see there. And with that same lighter value, let's go and just dance that here and there, not everywhere, and letting those other values play along. And this just shows realistic light bouncing around. Okay, with paint left on the brush, I'm just going to very lightly just strike some of that value here. And this is really going to start to bring out more of the glass look. See, just kind of like that. Okay, and a little bit here and there. Let's just put a little bit more of that value. Okay, as you can see, a little bit lighter. Just making all these things happen now. Okay, no cleaning again. Let's take some more phthalo blue. Let's go some titanium white. It still has that black in there. Okay, maybe a little bit more black, but I want more blue involved, more saturated. And let's just bounce this color here and there. This really just brings back that blue glass look and just kind of contrasts against that lighter stuff and makes it pop that much more this way. Okay, now with a clean brush, I'm going to take some of this Dioxyzene Purple here, and I'm going to get some ultramarine blue mixed into this. So when you mix these two, it makes a very vibrant royal lavender color. And I'm going to get a little white in there now to bring that up just a bit. Okay, something like that. And this is really going to complement the shine and the glory of this glass as far as it having that shine and really just taking some of the blue glass and giving it that reflective color when light hits it like it does. And so right up here at the very top, just a little bit of that color, as you'll see, it just really brings out more of its shine this way and brilliance. Okay, no cleaning. I'm going to take some more blue and black. Okay, let's go in here and let's go above this highlight here with this. So with that same value, let's strike in down here on this highlight. This shows some of the reflections of those windows that are hitting down here as well. Okay, again, no cleaning. I'm going to take some black and blue again. And this time, let's get a little bit of titanium white. Not much, just a little bit lighter, or not quite as dark, I should say. And right in here, let's just ramp up some of the reflections here, or not reflections, sorry, some of the table that you can see through the glass. And this just makes more of a dramatic effect and just brings them out a little bit stronger this way. Okay, as you see, just brushing out those textures of the table that you can see through the bottle in and keeping that out of focus effect there as we get to the back of the table like that. Okay, now with a clean brush, I'm going to go into Dioxyzene Purple and Ultramarine Blue again. That Diox is Liquitex Basics, which are extremely thin, so another layer is ideal for that. I usually use Master's Touch, which is more heavy body. Okay, so kind of something like that, and now I'm going to get some more black and blue. And let's fill in the top, and also on the left, I'm just going to strike some of that dark value down as well. Okay, back to my number 6 angle brush here. I'm going to take, again, that black and that blue. And right here, just want to strike just a little line there. I'll do a little bit more at some point. Now with a clean brush, I'm going to take some titanium white. Okay, it's got a little bit of that blue in there and that black, but mostly white. Let's go in here, and I'm going to start very, very light with the very edge. And as I get over, a little bit more pressure, and then back up onto my edge again. And I can create these little shapes. So this is a good practice in this area to get good with the angle brush and controlling shapes. And of course, if you don't like something, take that dark value, knock it back. It's all good. Really go for it. Okay, just brushing some of that in right here as well. Okay, with that same value again, and let's go another coat here. I want to brighten up these highlights here and show more of the window reflections this way. Okay, and again with that same light value, I just want to dance this here and there on the bottom and through the glass, just kind of like so. Okay, and down here you'll see I'm just going to leave some of those darker values and just kind of hash in some of these lines to show more detail and more window reflections. Okay, back to my number 2 nylon flat brush. Let's go to titanium white, and it's got a little bit of that brown mixture in there. Okay, just kind of something like this, a very light muted brown. And right here, let's strike a direct highlight for a reflection right here. Okay, no cleaning again, some more black and blue. And I just want to go very, very lightly. This just makes it more natural and settles this highlight down a little bit better. Okay, now I'm going to go back to my script liner brush. Again, lots of water. And I'm going to go into that very light color again with just a little blue and black, mostly titanium white, pulling it through as I turn it to bring it to that sharp tip. And with this, I want to work some more detailed little reflections on the bottom here and there. Okay, no cleaning. I'm just going to pick up a little bit more blue into that white. It's got a teeny bit of black. Okay, pulling it through as I turn it. Lots of water on it. And with the tip, let's change the value a little bit. Again, it's all about the different values playing together. This is variety, which is the spice of life that brings all of these things out and makes it all interesting to look at. Okay, so now let's go black and blue, pulling it through, turning it to a point. And right here, I just want to make some finer details in this area here. It just kind of bends a little bit, shows the window lines or the panes, just kind of reflecting, kind of like this. Okay, cleaning my brush and just titanium white. Let's give it a little light kiss here on the edge of the bottle, just kind of like this. Okay, and without cleaning, let's pick up some more phthalo blue. It's got a little black in there, turning it again. And with the tip, just kind of running this little reflective light, little reflection down there. All right, back to my number 2 nylon flat brush. Let's go black and blue. Let's go a little bit of white to that. Okay, I'm kind of doing the shadow color now. Let's get a little raw umber into there. Got to have a shadow for the bottle or it just won't look right and it'll look like it's floating instead of on the table. Okay, where I want it the darkest and heaviest, let's apply the paint there first on the right here. I'm going to put that down, and as I drag it over, it's going to get lighter, of course, and then you'll still be able to see the wood grain details through the paint, which is exactly what I want to do and create here as I drag it over to the left, and just kind of something like this. Okay, no cleaning. Let's get some more blue into that value now. I want to bring out some color into the shadow as the blue glass is getting light and also casting a shadow. Some of the color of the glass is also in that shadow. Okay, this gives more of a realistic effect and draws the eye in more, so just kind of like that. Okay, and without cleaning again, let's take some black and some brown now for a very dark color, and right under the bottle where I want the shadow the darkest. Of course, the closer to the object, the darker the shadow, and so as I bring it out, I want to dust it out into those lighter values, and this gives very realistic shadow play this way. Okay, something like that. And now without cleaning again, let's get a little bit more blue. Let's get some titanium white. I want to really lighten this up and bring out the color of the blue glass into the shadow a little bit more and a little stronger. Okay, maybe something kind of like that. And let's throw this in just in a few spots. Okay, let's get a little bit more titanium white now. I want to make more of a shine here with this light that's kind of shining through into the shadow a little bit. Okay, kind of something like that. I can use my finger to settle that down, and a little bit over here as well. Okay, with my script liner brush now, lots of water and titanium white, I'm going to go ahead and sign, and I want to thank you so very much for following along. Any questions or comments you have, please leave those down below. I'd like to hear from you guys and know how this went for you. I hope you were able to pull this off and that it was clear and that you had much satisfaction. And if you enjoyed this video and you're new, please do me a favor and subscribe. This helps me to keep bringing you guys these tutorials as always. And so as you can see, just some values playing together and more or less just putting the color where it goes. And when they play together, it just creates what it does and brings out this magnificent piece here. So with that said, guys, thank you again. I wish you well and happy painting to you.